Good morning to all of you. Uh, my name is Saurav Patania. I am from Numerical Analytics Instruments Private Limited. We are the distributors and providers of NVivo in India for the last 10 years. So I hope everyone is safe and well at their homes. So today I will be going with a brief introduction of NVivo with the demonstration of NVivo and just showcasing the new NVivo, which was launched recently. So brief about our company. So as I said, our company name is Numerical Analytics Instrument Private Limited. We are based out of New Delhi. So we were specifically set in 2008 to specifically address the growing market for solution based on numerical analytics technology. And we are a part of a Malaysian concern StatWorks group. So together with the StatWorks, we are distributors and providers of different solutions like qualitative solutions, qualitative search solutions, quantitative, and other data visualization softwares to other countries like Singapore, Malaysia, Vietnam, Indonesia, Thailand also. When we talk about numerical analytics, we have a whole extensive list of customers all across India. So I have just for your kind information, I have just put in some of the customers' names here in different verticals. In government, we are present in government sector, education sector, finance, and other sectors also. So when we talk about solutions in India, we have three different products in India, three different product lines in India. So starting with Texas Instruments, we are basically taking care of education group of education department of Texas Instruments, wherein we are providers of calculators like financial calculators like BA2 Plus, which are used in CFA and other financial institutes. And then we are also providers of graphing calculators used in IB, International Bachelor Program Schools, and some other scientific calculators also. And we are providers of econometric solutions like eViews, and of course qualitative solution NVivo. So today we'll be discussing about NVivo. So I will just give a brief introduction of NVivo. So NVivo is a product of a company QSR. So they started in Australia. Now they have been acquired by different companies, but the basic headquarters in Australia. So they have different international offices all across India, and they are continuously working with qualitative searchers all across the world to like bring in the latest features and benefits in NVivo for qualitative searchers. So when we talk about qualitative search, and so the first thing which comes into our mind is the huge data which we have to work on, right? And when we work without any tool to help for qualitative search, so this is how a person or a researcher works, like doing manual tagging, coding, using highlighters and all these things. So and make sticky notes and all these things. So it's a very cumbersome process and gets very difficult to manage and organize your data. So this is where NVivo comes is helpful for a qualitative search. So when we talk about qualitative search using NVivo, this is the process which we follow during the qualitative search. So we bring we start by importing documents or whatever data we have collected during a qualitative search inside NVivo, and then we start by exploring data using different techniques which are available in NVivo. We do the coding, which can be manual coding or automatic coding feature also available in NVivo. Then we do different. Then again we have queries available in NVivo, which are again helpful in making our coding easier or bringing out inferences inside in our data. And then we can reflect our data and visualize our data using different visualization techniques which are inherent to NVivo. And then we go on recording our thoughts, our reflections using memo techniques, annotations, and we can again bring in more documents to support our research. So this is an iterative process which we go on doing until we reach a conclusion. So on the right hand side, you can see whatever data you may be working with, you can easily import inside NVivo. Right? These are some of the visualization techniques which are available in NVivo. And so again, word cloud. So when we talk about NVivo, these are some of the features of NVivo. So as I said, any kind of data is easily we can import in NVivo and we can work on. So starting from plain text data, Word documents, PDF, audio, up till Survey Monkey or social media data. So we can easily bring in inside NVivo, and we can do analysis or do different research on it. So as I said, this tool is very helpful in organizing our data, and so we can easily organize and manage our data, which is not actually very, very difficult to manage outside outside NVivo. And then we can do coding and form codes inside NVivo and form relationships between different codes, different items. We can form relationships also. We can classify our data also. We can do memo and we can do annotation. So these are some of the queries which are available inside NVivo, which helps in understanding our data and finding relationships between our data. So these are some of the queries. We can do the different visualization techniques like charts, stack clouds, clusterances, models. We can create models also. And NVivo helps in like it can work on any language. So whatever language you are working on, it will not stop you from working inside NVivo. So these are the features. So these are some of the visualization techniques which are available in NVivo. So models and charts and cluster analysis. So as I said, there's the auto coding feature also available. So which I will show a case in NVivo when we work on. I will give a brief demonstration of the software. So again, this thing. So you can find again queries to create themes, uncover patterns inside NVivo. So I will start with the demo now of the software. So what we'll do, I will start with the demo and work on a project, and then at the end of the demonstration, you can ask you can ask the questions, whatever questions you have, and I will try to answer whatever answers to all these questions. So today for the demonstration part, I will be working on a project which was done in Down Coast East USA regarding environmental changes. This is a sample project available inside NVivo. So I have a data set for that. So with me, I will just show you the data which I will be working on. So I have interviews of the persons, like these are the persons who were interviewed. So I will just open one file for you of the interview of Barbara, and Henry is the one who is asking questions and Barbara is answering. So you can see this is one of the interviews. So all other interviews are stuck, like the same questions were asked for different people. And then I have some audio files, one audio file also, and image also. So I will try to bring in all these things in NVivo. And then I have some PDF files. These are PDF files and data sets also. So one data set is I have Excel file also. So I will try to bring in one survey data inside NVivo. So let's start working on NVivo now. So I will create a new project inside NVivo. So this is the welcome screen, and this is how you open a new project. So I'm naming it as a webinar NVivo. And this like the giving the name of the project is mandatory, but you can add description also if you want to. And by default, it saves the project saves under documents. You can change the place where you want to save your document if you want to from using this browse button. And these are the languages which NVivo understands. So I'll just give you the list of languages. So if you can see here, just a minute. So English, and French, German, Japanese, Portuguese, Spanish. So these are the languages which it understands. So next. So these are some of the settings of project. If you want to change some settings, you can change from here. So by default, after every 15 minutes, it will prompt for a reminder to save your project. So if you can change the settings here, if you want to increase the time or decrease the time, you can change it from there. So I was creating a project. So if you have worked on NVivo 12 or previous versions of NVivo, so it is almost same with little some small changes inside the latest version. So again, it is divided into 3 different panels. The third panel will come when we open any file, but this is the navigation panel. There will be list panel, and third panel will be the description panel. And on the top are the menu ribbons are available. So you can see that after we change any menu, the sub menu keeps on changing under it, right? And it's quite intuitive. So it will change according to the file or according to the what type of query or what kind of process you're following. It will change the menu accordingly. So again, little bit changes here. Like previously in the previous version, it used to be nodes, but now they have changed it to make it more easier to understand it, they have changed it to coding only. So it's because the process is called coding, so they have changed the folder name also to coding, and under that there's the codes available, right? Otherwise it's almost same. uh, so let's start by bringing in data. So just for today, and to be better organized, I am creating different folders for different data formats. So it's not really necessary, but I'm creating different folders under files. So any data which we bring from outside NVivo will be brought under files, any data, right? So let's start by creating folders for different data formats. One for text folder for text format, and one folder say for PDF, and one folder say for video files, one for say images, and one for survey data. So we will start by bringing in the interview files which I just showed you. So as we need to bring in under text folder, I will select this text folder, go to import. Any data which we have to bring in NVivo will be brought by using this import menu, and go to files and browse to the place where the file has been saved. So it's under this interviews. So this is a video file, and these are transcripts of the video file. So I'm not selecting these, and you can bring in all the files together if you want to, and you import it inside NVivo. And what NVivo does is it makes a copy of your original files and brings it inside NVivo, so that any changes which you make inside NVivo in these files will not reflect or impact the original files. They will remain as it is, right? So if you want to open any specific file, say Barbara's interview, you just double click on it. It will open in the description panel. So this is a description panel, this is the list panel, and this is the navigation panel. So you can see that you have opened Barbara's file. You can open more interviews together, and it will open in a different tab. So you can move from one tab to second tab very easily, right? So you can open as many interviews you want. So I've opened these files. So quickly I will bring in the PDF files also. Same process, selecting the PDF folder, go to import, and go to files, and go to the externals. These are the PDF files available here. Select these files, bring it inside NVivo. So this is a PDF file. Then I will quickly import an image also. And a video file also. Okay, so we have brought on all these files. Survey data I will bring in later when I'm finished working on these files. Then I will, at the end, I will bring in the survey data file also. Okay, so this is how we bring in data inside NVivo. Now we'll start working on these files. So what the first step will be finding themes, patterns inside our data, and which is by creating codes inside data. Codes are like buckets where we keep the data from different sources, the references from different sources of the same theme or pattern, right? So those are called codes. So any code which will be created here under this folder, codes, right? So codes are themes that you identify in your data. So these are basically themes which you identify in your data. So let's start by working on our text files. So let's say we are working on Barbara's file, and I'll just open this codes folder. And so you can see here that on the first response of Barbara, she's saying about her family, that her family moved here when she was 2 years old in 1969, and her parents still live here, and they live in Gloucester. So what you need to do is you think that this part of the interview of Barbara is is you need to code it into a theme by the name of community. So this is something you think it's a theme which is relevant to community. So you can create a code by the name of community and put this data, specific data, inside that code. So what you need to do is you can just select this part, and you can select this part, and you can just right click on it, and then can you code selection, code selection, and I want to create a top level code, and I want to name it as community. So a code has been created by the name of community, and you can see that it shows that the data is coming from one file in this code, and it has got one reference because we have already put in one reference, right? If you want to see this thing, the community code, you just need to double click on it, and it will open in the same description panel in a different tab. And you can see that this shows this is the part you have coded here, and it also shows from where it is coming, from Barbara's document interview, and it shows that it has got point, it is like this part of the interview is 0.98% of the total interview. So it's these words divided by the total number of the words into the interview and divided into 100. So this is it is calculating the percentage this way, right? So this is how you do the coding inside NVivo. I'll just do one or two or more codings here. So this we have created one code. So let's say we go down below the interview, and in the second part, if you see this in this line, right, at this part of the interview, she says about her education, that she studied in elementary, middle school, and high school, then moved away for college. So you want to code it to a theme. Basically, you think that this is a theme relevant to education, right? So you can just select this part and right click on it, and again code selection, and create a new node, say education. So this is how you code. So education also has been created with the same with this part, and from Barbara's interview. Let's say you go to Charles' interview, just for example, and I lived here for 25 years, but I missed the salt water. So this again you think is relevant to a community theme, right? So you just need to select this part, and you don't need to do the same steps. You just need to drag and drop. So you can just select this part and drag and drop to community. So now you can see that this part has been coded to community. So this way you can keep on creating your codes manually. So if you want, you can see in the community code now, there are two files because the data is coming from Barbara's interview and Charles' interview, and there are two references again. And you can see how it is showed here. So if you go to community code, so data is coming from, the references are from Barbara's interview and from Charles' interview, right? So this is how you treat a text document file inside NVivo, right? So I will now start quickly go with the PDF files. I'm just showing the manual coding, how it's being done in different data formats. So I go to a PDF file, the same way I can open a PDF file. So when we talk about a PDF file is a mix of two things basically. It contains text, and it may contain tables or images, right? So text, it treats the same way, it handles the same way as we treated in a document file. You can select this part of the text and code it the same way as we did for a text file. But if it contains images or tables and you want to code that specific part also, so you can select the region part. Right now it's the text is selected, and you can select the region part. And so let's say you want to code this image, right? You want to code this image, and you can just select this part, and you want to code into a new code. So what you can do is either you can right click and follow the same process, or the easier way maybe you can drag and drop this part into a blank space of the code space, this list panel, and you can just drop it here. So it understands this is a new code you want to create, and say I want to create, say, bird life or something like this. This is a new code which I've created, and you can just, so this way a new code has been created, the bird life. So if you double click on this thing, so again it shows that it is coming from PDF folder, and this is the file name, Estuary Economics Executive Summary, and it shows that this is the region which you have selected, And if you want to see the exact thing which you have coded, you can select on the PDF tab here, and only the bird part, the region which you have coded is highlighted, other is all in gray. So this way you know which part has been coded in which code. Right? I will now show for images. So just to make it clear, NVivo does not understand images or videos itself by itself. You need to convert all images or video files into text first, right? So there are different ways of creating doing this. So let's start with images first. So this is one of the image. So what you can do is first you need to click on edit, so that you can edit this image if you want, and then so as I said, the different ways of coding of image. So what you can do is you can, as we did in the PDF file, you can select any specific area of your image which you are interested in or you want to code, and you can drag and drop or put it, say I want to again this drag and drop to bird life or something, so there may be words, so you can put it here, this specific part of the image. So if you open a bird life code again, and you can see here, if you go to pictures now, right? So if you go to summary, it will show you there are two different files. The codes are coming. One is from computing what it uses. This is the image file, and this is the PDF file, right? So images and PDF. And if you want to see the picture which you have coded, you go to the picture tab, and it will only highlight the part which you have coded. So this way you can keep your images safe and put in the relevant part of the image which you are interested in. So this is one way of coding. Other way is, as I said, you can convert any image into a text. What you can do is, say this part you have coded, and you just right click on it, and there is option of insert row. So once you click on insert row, it will show you the region which you have selected. This is the region, these are the pixel numbers, and then you can write whatever your thoughts are or whatever you think about that image, right? So let's say I want to say that houses on the bank of the river, something like that. So this way you can, again, you can select this part, and you can again insert row. So like your fishing boats. So whatever you've written in text again is codable. You can select this part and code into the new theme or the existing theme, right? So you can select this part and drag and drop it to new theme or the existing theme. So you can convert this way your text image file into a text also. You can keep on selecting different areas of your image and writing in front of that. Now I will open with a video file. So this is the interview of Ken, and so when you open a video file, this is how it opens, and you can play and pause, listen to the video from here, right?
Down east.
So NVivo handles all kind of video files, whatever format it may be. It will not stop you from listening. So you can, it can work with all kind of video files. And once you open a video file again, so you can see that the options of video file are automatically coming here. So if you go there, you can just a minute. Right. So you can need to edit it first, or you can remove the waveform here. So waveforms is removed. So same as we did for an image file, there are two ways of doing the coding in for a video file. Either you can say you are interested after listening to a video, you think that time from 10 seconds to 20 seconds, Ken is speaking about a theme, speaking about community. So you can select this part 10 to 20 directly from here, and you can code it to community theme. Right? So this way 10 to 20 part of the video has been coded to community. If you go to community theme, if you go to video tab, so it will show you the video, and it will only, once you start a video, it will only play from 10 to 20. So this way you have organized your data video, right? You have connected to community theme and only 10 to 20. So you don't need to cut or save your video, it automatically does that for you. Other way, as I said, NVivo by default does not, by automatically will not understand a text, image or a video file. You need to convert into text. So there are ways of converting it to text. So there's an option of transcribe mode, right? So this is transcribe mode, and so let's say once you've gone to transcribe mode, one option is you can, if you have a transcription available outside of video, you can always import it and synchronize it with the video. Otherwise, you can. So this is the prompt which comes automatically after 15 minutes. So once you have gone into transcribe mode, you could do it manually also, the transcription inside NVivo. So what you need to do is you go to transcribe mode, then you play it. So it will start the time span from the video is playing. So you say you listen for first 10 seconds.
That's the wrong course.
The video.
That's where I always grew up.
And then you stop it here.
That's where I live.
And then you can write whatever what Ken is saying. So you can write your thoughts about it, what the person is trying to say, or write the as verbatim as it is, right? So let's say Ken is saying about the community, right? So you can keep on. So once you have stopped it, so you get first 10 seconds you can write. Once again you play it, so it will start with the same time span, the previous end span, and listen for say for next 10 seconds, and then you can stop it.
And this area, this.
And then the time span comes, and you can write for what the person is saying for the next 10 seconds. So this way you can keep on transcribing inside NVivo manually. And again, whatever you've written in text is codable. You can put it into a code directly from here. So this is how we treat a video file manually. Though there is an option of automatic transcription in NVivo. What it does is there's an option of this thing. If you go right click on any video or audio file, there's an option of transcription. So you need to create a account on NVivo portal, and it will directly export your video or audio file in that portal and will transcribe it for you. But it's a paid feature of NVivo, right? So I have still 15 minutes remaining of transcription, which is given free of cost for any trial version also. So you can transcribe it from here. So any audio or a video file can be uploaded and transcribed. So you can transcribe it in these languages. So Hindi is also available, if you can see from here, right? So it will transcribe it for you. So say audio or a video file is of 30 minutes, it will transcribe it in 15 minutes with 90 to 95% accuracy. And I have done transcriptions for FGD also. So it automatically understand that there are 3 speakers. It will transcribe in speaker 1, speaker 2, speaker 3. Understands that there are 3 speakers speaking. So it's quite accurate in that way. Right? So you can select Hindi and it will transcribe it in Hindi for you. So it will take some time. So I will not transcribe it right now, but you can always try after downloading the trial version. You can try this and look for yourself the accuracy of this transcription. So this is how we treat all these files. So this is how we do manual coding. So I will just show you how we work with the survey data also. I will bring in survey data, which is an Excel file. So I go to import, and so I go to Excel file. So this is one of the Excel file I have, survey data. So this is the, once you click on importing a survey Excel file, this is a survey import wizard which comes up. So it shows that respondents will be saved as cases. Cases are basically codes of the same type, but you can classify your cases like according to person. So you can classify them as a person or an organization. So as these are respondents, they can be classified as persons, and you can give those classification different attributes like age, gender, income, education background. All these things you can do that. Any close-ended questions will be created as attributes. As I said, attributes like age, gender, all this. So they will automatically be created as attributes, and any open-ended questions will be created as codes. Codes, you understand. I've already shown you codes. So this is how you import any Excel file. I will just enter. So this is the data. So respondents, return date. Yeah, these are things. These again, township. These all things are open. These are close-ended responses. So these will be put in as the attributes of those cases. Okay, these will be treated as cases now. These are respondents. Right. Click next. And then clicks next. So it will share where it will be saved. It will be saved in the cases and survey data. So now this is the data which we have. So respondent, these are respondent is the question. These are the different columns of the Excel right now, and so these are the close-ended answers, right? And some are these are the open-ended only. So these will be created as codes inside our coding. And if you don't want to import anything, you can just click on that thing, and it will not be imported inside NVivo. I am keeping all these things together. So. And if you want to run autocode and or autocode sentiment on these things, you can create this. I'm not doing that thing right now. And it's importing survey, creating cases. It's also creating codes for open-ended questions. So I will just show you where all these things have been created. Right. So this is the survey data which we have brought in. So this is what the survey data, this is respondent, community. So these are questions. So these are all close-ended questions, right? So answers. So these are all created as attributes of those cases. And so these are the open-ended answers, right? So these are created as codes. So where has been created? So codes have been created here. So let me see. Survey data, codes have been created. So these are the codes have been created, right? So commercial fishing is one of the code. So it will have all the references from different responses, right? So good. So these are created codes, and so you can see for all those things they will have references. If you go to cases, it will say it will have survey data. So all these respondents have been created as codes. So if you want to see their classification sheet or the classification for these persons, you can open the classification sheet, and this is how they have been classified now, right? You can see from here that return date, township, which township they belong to, which community they belong to, which generation, how many generations they have been living in this place, whether they are doing commercial fishing or they are doing recreational fishing, income tied to resources, right? And so all the close-ended questions have been assigned as attributes to this classification. You can add further classifications, like if you want to add more things like education to it, gender to it, so you can add more things to it, to this classification, specifically this classification, right? So this is how we bring in the Excel, the survey data, and you can do the coding from the survey data itself if you want to do the manual coding. And by default, it is already coded. You can add further things to it. You can remove some things to it. So you can do all these things. So this finishes the manual part of bringing data and the coding, how we do the coding inside NVivo. Now today I will tell you about the queries which are available inside NVivo and which helps in understanding your data better. So let's start by the basic queries which are available inside NVivo. Every query will be listed under Explore. So it helps in exploring your data better. So all these queries are listed under Explore. So I will start with the very basic query, which is the word frequency query. So it helps, as the name suggests, it helps to find out the most frequent words which are happening in your data. So it lists out all these words. So this is the query interface where you need to put in your criteria for your search. So let's say I want to search in, you can select the items where you want to run this query. I'm running this query in the text data, all the interviews, and I want to keep the minimum length of the words 4. So the words like, I don't want words like is and are in my search. And if I run this query, so it will list all these words there, right? So East is the most frequent word which is coming because the search this project happened in East Coast USA. So if you want to add, if you don't want some of the words to be in this search, you can add those words to the stop word list. So I am adding this east word to the stop word list here. Right? And I click OK. So I run this query once more, and you can see that east is not coming anymore, and people is the word with six word letter, and this has 102 references are available for this word is 102, right? So if you go to this query and see this query, there's a grouping slider also available. So right now we are only looking for the exact matches, right? So if you click on, say, if you change its slider to say stemmed words, it will look for stemmed words also. So say if the word was talk, so it will look for talking, so other stemmed words also of talk. So let's keep it as synonym. So it will look for the same meaning words and run this query. So the result will change because it is grouping the words together now. Okay, so you can see the summary now. So think is the most frequent word, and because it is grouping all these words together, same meaning words together. No has been again clubbed together with these words. Experience, know, knowing. Place has been home, homes. So all these words are grouped together. So basically it's, so you can run this query to start a project, right? So if you are not gone through your data, you can always run this query to find out certain themes, patterns which emerge out of your data. So you can always say you are interested in knowing about the references behind think, where what are the references where the people are using think. You can click on think. You can run this think word as a text query also, which I will show you later, or you can create think as code also. So if you create think as code, all the references wherever the word think or the same meaning word, because we have grouped it as synonyms, so will be a list, will be saved under a theme, whatever you want to name it, say think only. So it will be saved under the theme and all the references will be there. So by default, by automatically, all the references will be clubbed together in the same place. And so there's other visualizations also. There's a word cloud visualization. So it shows you the word cloud. So it's a word cloud. So bigger the word, it means the more frequent it is. You can change the different designs from here. You can change it from here. So again, there's another visualization is the tree map. Bigger the rectangle, the more frequent it is. And there's the cluster analysis also. So basically it's clusters the words together which are coming most of the time together in your data. We'll just zoom in further. So this is how, so these words are coming together in your data, so they're clustered together. So this is about the text search, word frequency query. Now I will run a text search query. So this is the interface for entering your criteria for text search. I'm looking, so let's look for a word like fish, and I need to select the items where I need to run this query. I just run this under text data. You can run anywhere on any of the sources. You can run this query. You can even run this query on your codes also, wherever you want to. So that it will not stop you anywhere, right? So codes, okay. And again, in this option also, either you can look for exact matches, same slider is available. So let's say I look for specializations of fish also this time. So it will look for fish and the specializations of fish on all my interviews, the text files. So you can see it gives a summary for each of those interviews, and it shows how many references of the word fish or the specializations of fish are coming in each of the interviews. If you want to see the references, these are the references for the word fish coming in different interviews, right? So under Barbara, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, maybe 10 references, right? 10 references. It shows us numbers also for the word fish or fishing, because fishing is also coming, and for different in different reviews under Linda. So you can get all the references for your specific keyword this way. So again, there's a word tree visualization also available. Any visualization which is coming in NVivo is exportable. You can right click on it and export any word cloud, any tree map, directly export word tree, it will be exported directly, or you can copy it and paste it anywhere. So any of the visualizations, any of the charts, any of the maps can be easily done. So right now this word tree is, just give me a minute, is showing, if you can see, 5 words coming before phishing and 5 words coming after phishing, right? So you can see, if you want to see any specific sentence, so you can see this is one of the sentence: North Carolina allows net phishing in the sounds that not. So this is 5 words. You can always increase the words. The context words can be increased from here 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So I put it at 9, say I will 10. So you can put it in a sentence. So this is one of the sentence. You see where the sentence is here. So this is the whole sentence, the highlighted part. Right? You can want to see the reference behind it, say where the sentence is coming, you want to see further. You can double click on it. It will go to that sentence only. So this is the sentence, right? So this way you can drill down further and see where the sentence is coming. Right? You can increase the number of context words. And so when we search for any specific keyword inside text query, we can use operators like and, or, also not. All these operators can be used, right? So there are many operators which can be used. You can always, there's a syntax for looking for 2 words which are coming in the vicinity of say 10 words. So you can use the syntax and look for such kind of queries also. So this is how the text search query works. And so I will close this project and open the same the mature form of the same project to show you more queries. So I'm opening the sample project. So this is the same project, environmental changes. So I will answer all the questions at the end. Okay. I have shown you text search query and the word frequency query, and I will show you the matrix coding query. So this is basically used to identify relationships between things, and it is also very helpful during your literature review. So but for running this query, you need to classify your data. If you are running this query on your sources, you need to classify your sources, like the author, journal, time of the journal. Or if you are running this query on your cases, you need to classify your cases. So as I said, I showed you the Excel file, there was classification already done. So I will run this query, and in fact I will show you the query which is already there. So just let me show you. Okay. So there's a query with views on phishing decline by phishing involvement. So this is a matrix coding query already done in NVivo. So I will just run this query, then explain you, or if you want me to run, I will run it from the start also, how you create a matrix coding query. So this was done, basically I will just show you. So there are codes already made by the researcher, and so he had one code created, phishing industry decline. Under this, he has identified certain reasons which researchers identify reasons for the phishing decline in that area, and he has put in references from different sources in this thing. You can see that he's put in from different sources and put in data, and these are the references for each of the reasons he has identified for phishing decline. And when he has put in different data from different sources, like from different interviews, from different survey respondents, they're already classified according to different attributes. But one of the attributes was whether they are doing phishing, recreational phishing, or they are doing commercial phishing. So this query is regarding that thing only. They want to see the intersects basically between the phishing decline and the people who are doing it for commercial reasons and who are doing for recreational reasons. Let me just run this query. So you can see these are the reasons identified. These are the coding which has been done, and this persons who did it for commercial reasons. So this is commercial reason true, commercial reason false, and recreational isn't true, recreational phishing false. So you can see from here, so it shows the number of references for each of the intersect, right? Phishing industry decline and person doing it for commercial phishing. There are 11, sorry, not 11. Okay, so persons who are doing it for commercial phishing, and due to regulations, this is the one, there is only one reference for that. Due to tourism and development, there are 2 references for commercial phishing. Right. So this way you can see the number of references. If you want to see any data for specific cell, you can click, say this is 5, and you can always click on 5. It will show you those 5 references behind it. So these are the 5 references which we have behind this thing. So these are all coming from survey responses. So who are doing it for commercial, who are doing commercial phishing, and this way you can create an intersect. So this is how the matrix coding is done. I will create a matrix. So I will just create a matrix coding, the same matrix coding again for you. So let's say this is the matrix coding query. I need to select the codes first. So let's say I select items, and I go to codes. And I select the codes. Just a minute. Under economy, under phishing industry decline. So I select all these things, right? All the reasons which have been identified. And under columns, I select the attribute values. So I go to my case classifications. These people have been classified under person, and I want to see recreational phishing, and okay, and equals value yes. So persons who are doing recreational phishing and persons who are doing, say, commercial phishing. Yes, only yes, not no this time. So this create an intersect between these 2 things. I will run this query, and it will show you the things. Can you see here? So it shows a number of references for each of the reasons under recreational phishing and commercial phishing. You can use these things also. So it will create a color according to the number of references. So 8 is the highest, so more dark in color. So if you want to see the specific 8 references, you can double click on it. It will show you the references behind it. Okay. So if you want to say right now, it is cell content is coding references. You can code it, files coded also, cases coded. So all these things can be changed according to whatever you want to do. So this is the matrix coding query. I will now show you another query which is quite helpful when you say when you do coding and you code same content in different codes, right? Same content you do, put in different codes also. So you want to see the intersection between those codes. You can always check using the coding query. So let's say you want to check the intersection between different codes. We use this query. So let's say I want to check in coded to all certificates. I will select the code. One code I select is, let's say, infrastructure. So this is one of the code I want to check, and its intersection with another code by the name of, I go to say attitude and say positive, right? So I will check. If I run this query, it will show you that references which are coded at infrastructure also and at positive attitude also, positive attitude. So this basically shows positive attitude about infrastructure. If I run this query, it will show you the intersection of both the codes. So you can see this content has been coded at both the codes. So this is something which is actually, you can say this is something which is positive about infrastructure. Right? This is how the coding query works. You can add more columns to it also, more criteria to it also. Let's say I want to add one more, and that is so infrastructure positive and all cases. Let's put in all cases where, let's say I want to add all cases where person is gender, right? Gender is equals value, so female. So you can put in say what so basically it will be the intersection of infrastructure, positive code, and cases which are females. So you run this query, it will only show you the content coded with all on all these three codes only. So basically this is female saying something positive about infrastructure. So this is the coding query. So this all brings out, like it helps in bringing more inferences or more understanding about your data. And one more query I wanted to show you is the compound query. As the name suggests, it is basically it's used when you want to club two queries together. So I will just show you. This is a compound query. So this is used when we want to club two queries together, and you can club any two queries, but the most powerful combination in compound query is it's mostly used when you club text search query with coding query, right? So let's say I want to run a text search query, and criteria I keep it a criteria. So text search query I've already shown to you. So I can put in different words, say like put in home or houses, right? And I put it at stemmed words. So and near content, and in this I put in the coding query, and criteria as all particular select. So I select say under infrastructure. Structure. Okay. Infrastructure again, and then I want to put an enter, say positive. I run this. So this is not coming in with any result, but there may not be any home or host. Just a minute, I will just check again. Infrastructure and say economy and memorable codes, infrastructure memorable codes. So run this query, okay, and run. Sorry, so this is used for clubbing two queries, but right now it's not coming up with any results. There must not be any word which is being used in this thing. But this is how you run a compound query. Then there is a grouping query. So basically it can be used for finding out, say you want to check in how many, which codes have been created in a certain document, in two documents. So you can see this way. So I want to see items coded from say, from these selected items, say from Barbara's interview, or let's say from files and interviews. Say Barbara's interview, Charles' interview, and which all cases and selected items. So let's say I want to check what they are saying about economic infrastructure and balance and community change. Right? So you want to see which codes has been created from Barbara's and Charles' interview, out of like which content has been coded from these for these codes from these three interviews. So you can see. So you can see that Charles has 2 finds, Barbara has 3 finds from these things. If you want to see the connection map, so you can see from here, from Charles' interview, content has been coded to infrastructure, to community change. From Barbara to, so both have been saying about this thing, right? And this is how, so this is a connection map. So these are all the queries which are available inside NVivo, which helps you in understanding your data better. So you can always explore. There are different options, different other options available in these queries, which will help you in better understanding your data. So I think I will close for today. I've just done the queries and the manual coding. Next webinar, I will show you auto coding and doing sentiment analysis and social media data, how to work on social media data. So now I will take questions. So can you just come up with your questions? Okay, I got your, ma'am, Ruchika ma'am, I've got your question. So this is regarding, I have imported 10 interview files of different respondents and I want to create a word cloud. Okay. Is it possible that one word cloud is created for all 10 interviews, or I will have to merge all the 10 files into one and then create the word cloud? No, so you don't need to merge the files, right? I showed you, I will just show you again the word frequency query, right? So if you go, I want to find out, say, 50 most frequent words out of all the 10 interviews, right? So I keep the minimum length of word 4 and I go to selected items and I go to files and interviews, and I can select the files for which I want to make the word cloud. So I select all these files together. I'm not merging them, I'm just selecting them so that the query can be run on these interview files. So I've selected all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 files, right? Okay, and I run this query. So it is giving the summary for all these interviews together, and this is the word cloud for all these words, all these interviews. So you don't need to merge into one file. So you can import all the files inside NVivo and then you can run this query. I hope this answers the question.
Yes, I have understood.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much.
Archita Tandon has asked the question, where can word frequency query be applied to videos as well without conversion to text mode? No, you need to convert into text mode. Without text mode, it will not work on video files because it only works on actual text data only. So either you can transcribe the video or you can transcribe it inside NVivo manually, or you can use the transcription services of NVivo where it transcribes automatically for you. So that can be done. Then you can use the word frequency query. But if it is a normal video file, it will not work on a normal video file or an audio file for the matter. Is there any tutorial available for this? Yeah, a lot of tutorials are available on YouTube, I think. So you can go through. I will share some links. Revati, I will just request you to just mark Dr. Baby's mail ID so that we can send links for NVivo tutorials from YouTube for Word, all these things for the queries. Any more questions? Abhijit Sinha has asked, can we do review of literature? Can you give a brief? Yeah, we can do a literature review. And in fact, NVivo is one of the best tools for literature review. And you can import data directly from EndNote, from Mendeley, bring in it inside NVivo. And so all the references which are available in Mendeley or in EndNote automatically comes inside NVivo, and it automatically the sources get automatically classified. Then you can run different queries inside NVivo, word frequency, text search query, even matrix coding query is one of the best tool for literature review. So you can use all these things for your literature review. Again, I can pass on a link to you for literature review because I don't have an EndNote license with me, so I will not be able to show that thing, but you can in fact do using all these things beautifully inside NVivo. So Abhijit, I will share a link with you. Can you just drop me share your mail ID? I will share a link. You can see the literature review, how it's done using NVivo. For any other questions or pricing details, you can mail to us on this mail ID, sales@numerical-analytics.com, and we will definitely respond you with the pricing or any of the questions.